everybody. Welcome to Squat Pod Sports, where we bring our thoughts on the latest games and sports news around the sports world. Brought to you by the Sideline Sports Network. Man, Super Bowl, the season's ended. New champions have been crowned.
It's over.
The LA Rams, as weird as it is to say, that the Los Angeles Rams are the champions of the NFL as of right now. Congratulations to them. Old Matt Stafford, 1 year out of Detroit. That's all it took.
We were wrong. We both picked Joe Burrow, but Matt Stafford deserved it. Cooper Kupp had an amazing season. He deserved it. Aaron Donald deserved it. Like, everybody on that team. So the team was built for a championship. They did it in the first year. Like, it's exactly what they set out to accomplish, and they did it. So congratulations to the Rams, like you were saying.
Yeah, and I mean, it was a close game. I mean, 23-20.
Yeah.
Each team kind of had its moment where it was doing its thing. You know, it started off, it looked like the Rams, you know, they were hot. You know, OBJ was doing his thing. Unfortunately, he got hurt. Turns out it was an ACL injury again. So he's going to have a long road to recovery here going into the season as a free agent. But
I hate to see him get hurt, but like, even more salt in my personal wound, I had a bet in for him to get 2 touchdowns. Okay, and then he scored that.
Yeah,
I was like, oh shit, I might hit this, and
bro,
then got hurt. And I'm like, man.
He had that huge catch, and then he had that touchdown, and then he had that huge catch again. And I even posted on Twitter. I said, like, OBJ's getting 150 yards and 2 touchdowns today. And then immediately, like, right after, and I was like, oh, never mind.
Man. No,
never mind.
The reason you messed up
I must
my
have
bet.
been.
Oh, my God.
I must have jinxed it.
I had a bet in for him for 2 touchdowns, and then I had a smaller bet. Like, I put $1 on him getting 3 touchdowns, because I just had a feeling Odell was going to have a huge game. The payout for 3 touchdowns
and it was looking
like
$65.
I was like, I'll put $1 on that, like, just in case.
It was looking like it, because after he got hurt, that really changed, you know, how they were playing. You know, they looked terrible after he got hurt.
They did.
You could tell the offense was really based around Odell, and they forgot to use Cooper Kupp until like the very end of the game there.
But exactly, whenever they needed to, they focused on him, and the matchup didn't matter at that point. Cooper Kupp was just outperforming. What was that? Eli Apple, who was getting roasted.
Yeah.
He was getting roasted
and then he
Twitter.
got roasted on Twitter. Like, you had like NFL players roasting Eli Apple on Twitter,
I was
bro.
like,
After all the smack he's been talking for the past 2 weeks on Twitter, like how like Cooper Kupp, all this, like, oh man, he deserved it after that.
He deserved it, and it sucks because he's a Buckeye, and like, I gotta claim that. You know what I mean? Like, he's a Buckeye at the end of the day. And I've always had this weird feeling about Eli Apple, because like, I remember he went to the Giants, and I was like, you know. And then he went to the Saints, and he was on the Saints for a little bit. I'm like, okay. I think, wasn't he on Denver at one point? Like, this dude's on a lot of teams. That's not necessarily a good look, man. So. And then you're getting burned in the Super Bowl now, and I'm just like, oh God, you're not representing very well.
I mean. And like I said, it was kind of, and then it went kind of to the Bengals a little bit there. The Bengals had their moment. You know, they were rolling. You know, Jamar Chase was doing his thing, and then Joe Mixon had a couple nice runs. Yeah, they had a couple turnovers there. Yeah, especially, you know, start the second half. But they were rolling. Jaylen Ramsey was getting burned a little bit too.
Right.
He was tripping over himself, and then, you know, you had that, like, I don't know how they didn't call that face mask.
I know. It was so blatant on Ramsey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where Ramsey like flew across the screen. Like, oh God, some of the calls in this game. But hey, there wasn't as many calls in this game as I thought. And whenever they called the one down with the end zone, with they gave the Rams
they called
another.
Like 3 of them there. Yeah, they waited till the very end to throw the flags. But for the most part, they let them play it out. Most of the game.
Right. I think the Rams are going to score on that anyway. You know, so like, it was what it was. The only thing that did really was like stop the clock a little bit sometimes, you know. But I don't know. I think the Rams towards the end of the game, they had full control, and it really showed. You know?
Because they started, you know, figuring out a little bit on offense. They started leaning on Cooper Kupp a little bit more. And plus, you know, that O-line did not hold very long. Like, it held for the most part for that first half for the Bengals. But, you know, we as everybody predicted it, you know, that was gonna be their downfall in the end, and it was.
7 sacks.
You know,
it
tied the most in the Super Bowl.
Ridiculous. I think he had the most ever in one postseason. He set a record for that. Well, not him personally, but I mean,
I think he led on the season too. Like he had the most sacks. But yeah, Joe Burrow, he ended up with 263 yards and a touchdown. Old Matt Stafford, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, and then 2 picks. We knew he was going to throw them picks. We predicted it last week.
And he still
it wasn't in like the very towards like a game decision drive or anything like I predicted it was going to be. You were a little closer on that one.
I thought it was going to be in the middle of the game type of shit, but I thought it was going to be second quarter, right? Or no, I think I said maybe third quarter. I forget which one, but I was wrong because I remember we texted about it during the game. You know, I was like, I was wrong about when we said it was going to happen, but you know it was going to happen.
I find it funny how every team is just trying to pull a Philly special in the Super Bowl now.
I know. I hate that.
Everybody's trying to do it.
I hate it.
What's up with this?
There's
disgusting. Only one team that can do that, man. Only one team.
Disgusting. Keep it out the Super Bowl. Okay, I don't ever want to see it again.
There's only one team that can get away with doing that. But as everybody knows, Cooper Kupp was the Super Bowl MVP.
Well deserved.
You know, some people saying it should have been Aaron Donald. You know, which I can understand, I guess.
Yeah.
But Cooper Kupp, man, I feel like he was really a deciding factor there. He was making those big plays at the end of the game that he needed to make.
And we knew, everybody in the world knew it was coming down to that, and that he still pulled through, you know. And I gained a lot of respect for Cooper Kupp because today he was at the parade and he's wearing that Kobe Bryant jersey, the 824 Kobe Bryant jersey, and I was like, yo,
I saw that. That was at the parade today. Yeah,
Cooper Kupp, you know, Super Bowl MVP, and we called it. Like, we were like, I wore Julian Edelman's jersey. And I was like, this is the last wide receiver to win Super Bowl MVP. So, like,
I think we said either way, if the Bengals or the Rams win it, we thought the wide receiver was probably going to win MVP.
Yep, exactly. So, I mean, everybody knew it was coming. Both of these quarterbacks are great, but the wide receivers are on another level, and it kind of excels the quarterbacks, you know. Yeah,
and I mean, and for the Rams also, Eric Weddle, he tore his pec in the game, and he had to leave, and now he confirmed again that he's done. He's retiring again.
I got my ring. I'm out. I'm done.
Out.
No more.
Sean McVay is now the youngest head coach to win a Super Bowl at 36. It's crazy.
That's crazy, man. As a head coach.
Yeah.
36 years old.
And like we already said before, you know, Joe Burrow tied for the most sacks in Super Bowl. He tied Roger Staubach with 7 for them Cowboys.
Now these commercials, okay, down to the real deal. What did you think about the commercials this year?
Some were good, man. Some were like, this is kind of cringe. But like, because I don't know, like the one that really like did not sell me was, I don't know if you saw the Jones one, where it's like Tommy Lee Jones, Rashida Jones, and I was like, this is just dumb. Like, how did they get these? Like, how did they get all these people to do this?
It was dumb. That whole commercial was dumb, but my favorite part of that commercial was at the end when Tommy Lee Jones is like, whoever you are, like, or whoever he's like, he's just the old head, didn't even know who he was. Like, that was my favorite part of that commercial. But like, I have the same feeling. Most of them were kind of lame. There was a ton of crypto commercials and electric vehicle commercials that make me feel like we're in the future, you know.
Yeah, I like the Larry David one.
The Larry David one was hilarious, bro. Like, it was hilarious. I'm so glad that was a commercial, but there was a lot of like star-studded commercials this year. It seemed, you know, they had a lot of cameos.
They're getting them in there. They paying a lot of these celebrities to get in there. I know, like the one that everybody saw was like the QR code.
Yeah,
you know, going around the screen, really playing the dope music. That was pretty cool.
That's such a genius ad. It's so simple, but like it just
it draws your attention.
You're waiting for it to hit the corner. It's gonna hit the corner. Like, Kyrie was sitting there watching. He's like, "Oh, I love this."
See, it works. And then of course you got the amazing halftime show.
Yes.
And 50 Cent surprised everybody. You know, folding down from the ceiling like in in the club video.
I was like, damn, the NFL letting them sing in the club in the middle of the Super Bowl. You know, you got Snoop Dogg bending over and taking a hit. Like, there was some shit going on. Like, it was amazing. I love seeing Kendrick come out. I love seeing Eminem come out. Mary J. Blige was killing it. Dr.
It was
Dre
cool that they had like that soundboard, like that fake soundboard there that Dre was behind. It was pretty cool.
I thought that was awesome. It wasn't,
and
quite
then they had
as
all
like,
of them up there at the end.
it wasn't quite as cinematic,
theatrical.
Yeah, like as theatrical as like normally is, but that's okay. It was still dope as shit. You know, it was really cool.
They spent all the money just getting everybody there. You know, all these people.
Right, exactly. Dre just paid them a bunch and was like, all right, we got $500K for the rest for the show.
Nobody had a clue 50 was gonna be there. You just thought it was gonna be like Kendrick.
I saw a couple days beforehand that he was spotted at rehearsals.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And so I was like, 50 Cent's gonna be in this show? Okay, like
Did you see the video of Eminem and Al Michaels?
No.
It was cool. It was like backstage. It was just a video of Eminem, and Eminem's wearing like the original like Snoop's album cover like jacket. And he's like talking. He's like, man, I remember watching you as a kid. And he's like, what are you going to do? He's like, you retire? And he's like, I don't think I'll retire, but I might not be here. But whatever. But he's just like, M's just like, man, I just remember watching you as a kid and pretty much watching you my whole life. Like, he's like, even like what he said, he's like, even the terrible games, like he said it in a different way. And he's like, even those terrible games, I was still watching because like your commentary and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
it was just kind of cool.
That is pretty cool because that's an experience he has, and also everybody since then. You know, like he's been on TV this whole time. He's definitely like a Hall of Famer. You know, in all essence of it. So it's pretty cool. I got to see that video.
Yeah, I mean, Super Bowl was a success, man. I thought so.
Mm-hmm. Thought it was great. Very entertaining.
Yeah, and kind of going with the Super Bowl here, there's some other stuff. Jaylen Ramsey, he allowed 160 receiving yards in that game, and that's the most he's allowed in a single game in his career.
In his career, he kept tripping. You know what I mean? Like
he kept tripping all over himself. What you doing? And of course, everybody knows both QBs were hurt in that game too. Yeah. You know, Matt Stafford hurt his ankle. Joe Burrow had a knee sprain now apparently, but he's going to be good by training camp. You know,
I was worried that one of them was going to have to come out of the game.
Yeah, it was looking kind of bad because I mean, you saw Matt; he had his ankle rolled up on it, like bent sideways. It did not look bad good at all.
He's sitting there screaming.
And there's kind of some speculation. Apparently, there was a quote that was said. I mean, Rodney Harrison said before the game that Aaron Donald was contemplating retirement if they won. Mm-hmm. So who knows if they're going to do that. Apparently at the parade, they said that they want to run it back and all that. But I mean, that's just, you know, you got to parade emotions. Who knows? Maybe it's like, hey, I won't go out. You know, I mean, Sean McVay, there's rumors about Sean McVay wanting to retire too. Right. He's like, man, this dude, the youngest dude to win a Super Bowl. Like, why would he retire?
He's got a good 40 years of coaching ahead of him. What do you mean?
Yeah, like, man. He's got a lot of Super Bowls.
You know how many Super Bowls you could win in the next 40 years? By the time you get to Bill Belichick's age, you're already a head coach. Like, come on now. Like, but maybe he's just like, yeah, he wants to do other things. You know, he got a lot of money.
With all these players leaving and the salary cap.
Yeah.
No picks.
It's crazy that the Dolphins or Detroit's got the 32nd pick there, you know?
Yeah. That is crazy. And sticking with the Rams, Von Miller said he's going to test out free agency. Odell is a free agent as well, but I mean, who knows with his being injured, what's going to go on there. Yeah. I'm sure he's going to meet with some people, but I can see him returning back to the Rams, though. Is there anything else you want to hit on as far as the Super Bowl, man?
Not this one. I did want to hit
on
this
one.
What you
overall
think
was
about
a success, though.
Super Bowl 57 and your way too early Super Bowl picks. Okay.
Yeah, and Super Bowl 57 is going to be in Arizona next year, and then it's in Las Vegas, which we've been saying we shouldn't even be having stuff in Las Vegas at this point.
They're gonna have
a
Super Bowl
have a Super Bowl in 2024, and then you have it in New Orleans in 2025.
There's going to be a bunch of players that are there just to watch the Super Bowl from different teams getting in trouble all week. Oh, my God. Okay.
Yeah, Las Vegas is going to be a nightmare.
Well, what do you think about Arizona? Way too early, just like random, not random picks, but like educated guess for Super Bowl 57.
Man. It's crazy to think about because you don't know, like, is Aaron Rodgers going to stick with the Packers?
Mm-hmm.
The Buccaneers don't have Tom Brady. It's not going to be – I don't see the Buccaneers doing it unless they make a huge trade. Man, the Chiefs. I can see the Chiefs going. As of right now, no. Way too early. Bills and NFC – Oh, NFC has a huge question mark on it right now.
I got my pick.
I don't know, Mix. I don't know what the NFC is going to look like, so I'll go with the Rams again.
Okay. Okay.
As of right now, that's all I can. Going off of what we know right now, I don't know who's going to be where as far as
way
QB
too early
wise.
picks, just like off the cuff. Buffalo. I agree with you there. So like I was thinking Buffalo from the AFC and Arizona.
Yeah.
Arizona Cardinals.
I don't trust Arizona right now, man.
The same picks I made at the beginning of the year this year. I was like,
I don't trust Arizona.
I think Buffalo and Arizona are going to match up in the Super Bowl, and I'm going to make that my way too early pick for 2022 here for Super Bowl 57. And I wrote that down here. So
we're going to do this
that.
again. Once like free agency or whatever is done, like once we know where QBs are, what teams look like, we need to make it fit like
this is just
a second way too early. This is way too early.
Way
then
too
we'll have
early.
Then we'll have a way early pick.
Exactly, but just in case we end up getting right, we got it on record here, okay?
I'll roll with Rams and the Bills. Why not?
Buffalo and Arizona. That's what I'm thinking here.
Okay. Interesting. That's gonna you pick it 3 years in a row. You think Arizona's gonna play in Arizona at their home Super Bowl?
That's the logic I'm going off of right now. Okay,
you think it's gonna happen 3 years in a row?
There's something fishy going on. Here.
And that's going to be the Raiders and then
then whoever,
the Saints.
There's something fishy going on here, so I'm going to just roll with the trend, more or less. That's what I'm going to go with. Okay. Arizona versus Buffalo.
We do have some other NFL news to get to here. Baltimore Ravens Calais Campbell said he's going to be returning in the 22 season. He's not going to retire.
Nice.
But he will be a free agent.
Ooh.
The Falcons released veteran pass rusher Dante Fowler. So he's going to be out there. Mm-hmm. Anybody looking for a pass rusher? Bengals announced that they are re-signing head coach Zach Taylor to an extension through 2026.
Of course.
Yeah, that was as expected. Derek Carr and the Raiders are looking to meet on an extension, and it's looking around $40 million per season for Derek Carr.
I would say that's worth it. That's like below what the max QBs are making in the market. He's not a max level quarterback. That's still a nice ass paycheck. So that's fair. That's cool.
Yeah. And this is kind of a continuing story as well. Apparently there's belief within the NFL that they will eventually conclude that Stephen Ross did indeed offer Brian Flores $100,000 per loss in 2019. And if that happens, they could be forced to sell the team. The owners may have a meeting and vote to make Ross sell the team. Yeah,
oh my
that would be crazy.
God. What's crazy is like there's other owners doing the same thing, and they're gonna stab him in the back. They're gonna get him out of there. You know what I mean? There's like the Cleveland Brown owners. I'm sure like with the Hugh Jackson stuff that was going on. So there's other owners in the league doing this. They just didn't get caught.
I'm sure.
But they're gonna get rid of this guy, his scapegoat.
The Buccaneers are apparently doing extensive homework on Deshaun Watson and are expected to look into Russell Wilson as well.
Man, they're just like QB vultures. Ugh.
Hey, man, we might be trying to get one. I'm cool with Russ. I don't know about Deshaun as right now, but hey, as long as we don't give up all three of them first, I'm cool with Russ covering the Philly, man. I'm cool with rolling with Jaylen, too. Don't get me wrong. I want to roll with Jaylen.
Today, seeing the Eagles have all them picks. I was like, oh my God. It's just ridiculous.
Adrian Peterson was arrested over the weekend for a domestic violence situation on a plane, apparently.
I saw
Kicked
that.
off a plane.
So he's probably not going to be back in the league. If anything comes off of that, he's getting up there in age too. He probably ain't going to play in the league again. It's unfortunate because he's like such a legend just to go out like that.
He's just bouncing around teams at this point too. Apparently the 49ers are expected to trade Jimmy Garoppolo by the start of the new league year on March 16th. So not too much longer, man.
That's to be expected. Who knows who there. Can get him. Yeah, I figured that was going to happen. It was probably going to be one of the first trades that we see as far as
maybe Jimmy G go to the Bucs too, take over for Tom Brady there.
That's probably like their plan D.
And I hope we don't trade for Jimmy Garoppolo because that's just kind of moving laterally. I feel a little bit.
I would say it's moving backwards. because
backwards.
in your situation, because
Jaylen's
you
so
have
young
Jaylen,
still.
he's got the potential, you know, so like you don't know what he could potentially be one day. Jimmy G,
Yeah.
you know what he is.
You know what Jimmy is.
You know
He
what
is,
you're
yeah.
getting. You're getting wins. Most likely you're gonna get some wins, but he ain't no franchise quarterback.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of someone else that who knows if they are a franchise quarterback and we know their history, there's apparently belief within the Colts organization that Carson Wentz will probably be traded or cut by March 19th.
Oh,
1 year.
man.
First Sam Bradford and now Carson Wentz. The Eagles just getting these high ass picks and just for these QBs that are just, go 1 year and done or something. I don't know. I did not expect the Colts to give up on Carson this early, man. If this is true. Especially Frank Reich, because they're boys.
I could see it happening. I could see him being cut, like the more likely option, because if teams know he's going to be cut eventually anyway, and just have to clear waivers and like stuff like that, like who's going to be willing to give up pieces for him unless they really want him? Like, so it's
not looking good for Carson Wentz right now, man.
It's not looking good. He even had a decent year last year. Just wasn't.
He was all right. Yeah, I mean, it really came down to that last game, man, where you beat Jacksonville, one of the worst teams, and you're in the playoffs.
Couldn't do that.
They just couldn't get it done. And another QB that's questionable right now. I know you just picked him to win the Super Bowl. Kyler Murray going through some struggles right now. His leadership's being questioned, saying that he's kind of immature, that he needs to work on how he portrays himself on the sideline and everything. It's interesting to see what's going.
But
here.
I think everything is going to be just fine and dandy in Arizona. Okay, they're going to be okay. It's going to be all right. I know he's got some like right after the season issues right now where he's just mad. He's mad that they didn't accomplish more. He's watching people get to the Super Bowl. He thinks he should be there. So he'll be fine. He's going to report trade camp. Everything will be good. They'll end up in the Super Bowl next year. Don't worry, Kyler. You'll be there next year. But you got to face Josh Allen, so good luck.
Good luck with that. Packers are willing to make Aaron Rodgers the highest paid QB in the NFL on a per year basis with a possible 2-year deal worth more than $45 million annually. So
Worth it.
Yeah. So I mean, you're looking at maybe like 90-something, $100 million to keep Aaron and Devontae, just like those two guys on the team. Yeah.
Because like you're saying, like because Devontae's gonna want a lot of money too.
Yeah, exactly. He wants the bag at this point, unless they franchise tag him too.
There's always that option of franchise tagging him and like just letting him play that 1 year with Aaron Rodgers under a tag and see what Aaron Rodgers does next year, if he retires or not, But I would if I'm Green Bay, I'm giving Aaron Rodgers absolutely as much money as he wants in this first year.
Oh yeah, you got to.
As much as you want.
You got to.
Do whatever you need to keep him.
In other news here, former Broncos head coach Vic Fangio has said that he's going to take the year off here, and he's probably going to come back either as a defensive coordinator or look for a head coaching job next year.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so we're going to go right into all the NFL awards here, at least the big ones that we know of. And just the NFL honor ceremony that was here the weekend. I think the weekend before.
Yeah.
I don't know how we skipped
Saturday before.
Yeah. But Jamar Chase has won Offensive Rookie of the Year. Micah Parsons won Defensive Player of the Year. Rookie Defensive Player of the Year, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Then you got TJ Watt, who won Defensive Player of the Year, which was well-deserved. I know Alex was happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
Cooper Kupp named Offensive MVP. And, of course, Aaron Rodgers winning the MVP award.
2 years in a row, man.
2 years in a row, and this is fourth MVP.
4 MVPs.
And it's second most in NFL history.
Doesn't Peyton Manning have 4 also?
I think he has 5, doesn't he?
Peyton's got 5? Oh, my God. Jesus.
Because he's second most.
I thought Peyton had 4, but that's still 4 is amazing. I think Brady's got 2 or 3. He's got 3, I think. But It's ridiculous, man. 4
It
MVPs.
is ridiculous.
But, like I said, we'll see if he comes
five
back
times.
this year.
Peyton won MVP 5 times.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's crazy. But with, winning Offensive Player of the Year, Cooper Kupp joined Joe Montana. Jesus. Joe Montana as the only player to win AP Offensive Player of the Year and a Super Bowl MVP.
Nice.
In the same year. So that's pretty cool.
Awesome.
And that just caps off Cooper Kupp's amazing, historic year.
Right.
I mean, even his historic year and then Aaron Donald's historic career at this point.
Right. And the only thing he was missing was a Defensive Player of the Year trophy this year as well, but TJ got that, of course. But
yeah, but I mean, he has 3 of them already.
Exactly.
I think.
Exactly.
And now he has a Super Bowl ring.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's wild, man. There was a lot of guys that, I was glad to see win a ring. Matt Stafford got a ring. Odell has a ring finally.
Yep.
Von Miller got another ring.
Mm-hmm.
And Aaron Donald, lots of good guys there on the Rams. Glad to see you get a ring.
What's his name? Whitworth, the one offensive lineman. He was with the Bengals for years.
Oldest player in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. I'm really glad he got one.
But that's all the NFL news that I have here, Vern. I don't know if you have anything else you want to talk about here.
Nope.
Okay, we can roll right into our NBA talk. What's on your NBA hot and not list this week, Vern?
All right, so we got some juicy teams on the hot list this week here. We got Boston, who is on a 9-game winning streak. They're ripping through teams right now. They just beat the Nets by 40 points. You know what I mean?
They beat the Sixers by 40 or 52, I think.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Oh my God, they beat the Nets and the Sixers by a lot. By a lot. They're tearing it up right now. Utah, who the Lakers play tonight.
They're playing right
Thursday, are on a 6-game winning streak. They're 6-4 over the last 10. So hopefully, Lakers could go ahead and end that streak. We'll see what happens, but it's not likely. Memphis is on a 6-game winning streak. They're tearing it up. I know Ja Morant just got hurt. I don't know if he's playing right now.
I didn't see that.
That's he was kind of hurt, limping off the court. I don't know if it was a major injury or not, but they're on a 6-game winning streak, 8-2 over the last 10.
Hopefully he's good.
Exactly. I would hate to see Ja Morant get hurt again. But Phoenix is still hanging around there too. They're on a 6-game winning streak, 9-1 over the last 10.
Yeah, they finally got 10 losses now.
Yep, they finally, what? 60-some games into the year, 50-some games into the year, but... And then I got Chicago there on a 5-game winning streak. They're 8-2 over the last 10. They've been tearing it up. So your boys on my hot list this week.
Yeah, they reclaim that number 1 spot in the East right now.
Nice.
Nice. They're looking good. But we'll talk about them a little bit more in my bias bubble.
Okay.
You got who's on your not list?
On my not list, okay, we got some familiar faces. We got Detroit. They're on a 8-game losing streak, okay? Just in turmoil. Not, I don't know. Are they tanking? Are they not tanking? It's really hard to tell. They're 1-9 over the last 10 games. And then another
13
team.
13-45. Whew.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Another team not doing so hot, Indiana. They're on a 7-game losing streak. They're 2-8 over the last 10. And then we got my personal favorites, Houston Rockets. On this list, on a 5-game losing streak.
They're regular on the not list.
I love seeing Houston on this list, and it's only because they're so on here so regularly. So I'm just, anytime I see them in the bottom half of the league, I'm like, yes, I could put them on my not list. Nothing against you, Houston. I just love seeing you on the not list. It's a thing about the show now. I'm sorry. 5-game losing streak, 1-9 over the last 10. And then Orlando on a 3-game losing streak. They're 4-6 over the last 10. And then I had to put my boys on here too. They're not doing so hot, we're not doing as bad as Detroit or anything like that, but 3-game losing streak, probably 4-game losing streak because we're playing Utah tonight. 3-7 over the last 10. Bron averaging 29 points a game. You know what I mean? He's second in the league right now in points per game, but we just losing, man. I don't understand how this team is losing. It's just doesn't make sense to me, man. Don't make sense.
Even with AD out there and everything.
Exactly. But it is what it is. We're on the not list this week. Not looking good.
All right. and since we talked last week, the trade deadline has passed, so we got a lot of trades, and of course, one big one that we'll talk about here.
Yeah.
But first, the Toronto Raptors trade Goran Dragic to the San Antonio Spurs for Thaddeus Young, and as of right now, Goran Dragic, and they reached a buyout, so he's actually a free agent as of right now.
Interesting.
So Goran Dragic's looking for a new home. Apparently, the Lakers are interested. The Bulls are interested. There was a couple other teams as well that were looking at him. So I mean, he's definitely gonna find a home here soon.
That'd be awesome. I would love this, to get Goran on our team.
The Kings got Dante DiVincenzo, Trey Lyles, and Josh Jackson. The Bucks got Serge Ibaka, 2 future second-round picks. The Clippers got Rodney Hood and Semi Ojeleye. I don't know. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. And the Pistons got Marvin Bagley Jr. The Celtics traded P.J. Dozier and Bol, a future second, and cash to the Magic for a future second-round pick. Dozier and Bol are out for the rest of the season, so they just trade them for cash.
Yeah.
The Boston Celtics traded Josh Richardson to the Spurs for Derek White. The Mavs traded Kristaps Porzingis to the Wizards for Spencer Dinwiddie.
I didn't even see that. Interesting. Kristaps is gone.
Kristaps gone. Out of the Mavs. The Pacers got rid of Torrey Craig to the Suns for Jalen Smith and a future second-round pick. Charlotte got Washington center Montrezl Harrell and Vernon Carey for Ish Smith.
Okay.
Lots of trades.
There's a ton.
A ton of trades here. Boston sent Dennis Schroeder to the Rockets.
Oh, man. That sucks.
Houston got Inez Freedom and Bruno Fernando. But it's looking, I think Inez got bought out too, so I think Inez is gone. Apparently, rumors saying that Inez might go play for another league somewhere.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
Oh, he got waived by the Rockets. That's what happened. He got waived. But of course, the big story here was the Brooklyn Nets traded James Harden for Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and 2 first-round picks.
Man, that's so much. That's so much. I feel like the Sixers. So the Sixers gave them first-round picks?
Yeah.
Oh, God. To get rid of Ben Simmons.
2 first, Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, and Andre Drummond.
I just feel like
there was a lot of stuff.
That's way too much. And all they got in return was James Harden?
They got James Harden and... Yeah, I think just James Harden, man. I think they just got James Harden.
Oh, God. I hope it works out for you,
no.
Philly.
They got Paul Millsap. My bad. I had to think. I was like, I knew they got someone else. They got Paul Millsap.
I hope it works out for you, Philly, man. That's crazy to me. That's so wild. Just to get rid of Ben Simmons. I would have made him just, chill. Pay the fine. Oh, my God. Oh, but
yeah,
their championship.
They probably could have got him after this season. Harden probably could have just came to him after the season, right. I think. Or else I don't know. But I guess they really just wanted to get rid of Ben Simmons, man.
They're really trying to
apparently
get a
found a new home
this year, too.
Yeah. Apparently, I have here James Harden is going to be out until after the All-Star break here this weekend.
Okay.
So they have that week off then. But he's going to be playing for the Sixers whenever they come back. Apparently, that's when they expect Ben Simmons to play for the Nets as well.
Okay.
They expect Ben Simmons to actually play this season for them.
Yeah, we got the All-Star weekend coming up here.
Yeah. The Clippers said that Norman Powell has a fractured bone in his foot, and there's no timetable for his return.
Okay.
So, more bad news for the Clippers.
Yeah.
Cleveland's Jarrett Allen has replaced James Harden in the All-Star game this weekend.
Okay.
Tyreke Evans, a name you might not have heard in a while because he's been suspended since 2019, has been reinstated. So he's able to come back and play in the NBA. He originally violated the league's anti-drug program. So he's back.
Now.
He's back. Minnesota Timberwolves agreed to a 1-year deal with Pat Bev, a $13 million contract extension.
Okay.
So it doesn't look like he's going to be getting traded again. They decided
For now.
to keep him. And the last thing I have here is Harden didn't file his necessary paperwork on time going to Philly. So technically he can opt out after this season.
And be a free agent again.
And be a free agent because he didn't file paperwork in time.
I mean, it might be just part of his master plan. Who knows what he wants to do? He said Philly was his first choice, but like, who knows what's gonna happen here?
Because they said originally, whenever the deal was announced, they thought like he was going to be getting an extension pretty much right away.
Yeah,
is that he was going to sign and that he was going to be extended another year or two with Philly, but now he can opt out and just peace if he wanted to. And what like they gave up all that just for someone who could possibly peace
for 40 sub games with somebody, 30 sub games with somebody.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
That's what I mean. It was one of the most ridiculous. Oh my god. Whatever. Good luck, Philly.
Good luck. But that's all that I have as far as NBA news and the trades. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add here before you go to the bias bubble.
Just looking forward to the All-Star weekend, man. It's gonna be awesome. Gonna be awesome to see. You know, I am
too.
Hope we have a good
competitions game. And stuff.
I know that last one we had with the Kobe Bryant and everything like that was amazing. I don't know if that was last year or 2 years ago. Was that 2 years ago by this point? The Kobe Bryant All-Star game where they did all the
was it last year?
I thought it was just last year. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But like,
well, this year they're going to be having those little tournaments and stuff that we talked about a couple weeks ago.
It's a whole different format this year, and I'm just excited to see how they do everything. You know, just I can't wait. All-Star Weekend's been killing it for years now, so I'm really looking forward to that. But that's all I had left of the NBA there.
Okay, so we can roll right into our bias bubbles here, man. What do you have?
All right, so on basketball for my Lakers here, LeBron. This is from a NBA insider. This isn't like LeBron quote or nothing like that, but there's like belief that LeBron is just kind of chasing Kareem at this point, not necessarily wins or championships. He's trying to be the all-time leading scorer in the NBA.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, and that, like I said, that's not from LeBron or nothing. It's just like NBA insiders talking about this. Like, that there's belief that that's his goal is to one day surpass Kareem for not just.
I'm done.
Yeah, not just regular season, because I know he leads now in regular season and postseason combined, but he wants to lead that like regular season points, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, we can get Tristan Thompson, which
I did see that. Yeah,
great. More Misfit toys, awesome, sweet, way past his prime, cool. That's exactly what we need.
He'll fit right in.
Yeah, he'll fit right in. And apparently Westbrook to the Rockets was like a done deal, but it fell through because the Lakers didn't want to pay a luxury tax, of the amount that it was going to cost. So
wow,
apparently
go back to the Rockets.
It was going to go where he was going to be shipped off to the Rockets from we were going to get John Wall. That was like what was going to happen there.
Yeah.
But it didn't. We still got Westbrook. I hope he's not mad. Everything's all cool, Westbrook. You know, we didn't trade you. You're good. We were shopping
at least
you.
till this off season.
But we didn't trade you. You know, making a shitload of money. You know, for what? Really? But as far as my Patriots, we had 5 Patriots make the top 101 of PFF. Okay.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. We had Shaq Mason, offensive line. J.C. Jackson, who unfortunately I think is going to be peacing out on us. Actually, no. He signed a 4-year deal with us last year. That's right. So we're good.
Oh, he did?
David Andrews.
I thought you had someone that was really good on defense that could possibly peace out.
Oh, I'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
I'll get to that. Oh, wait, no. J.C. Jackson is an unrestricted free agent.
That's what I thought. I thought it was J.C. Jackson.
Oh my god. Alright, well anyway. David Andrews, center. Mike Ueno, offensive line, and Adrian Phillips, defensive back. We had all them make that list, and I was like, that's pretty cool, you know? That's pretty cool. But
that is.
The next thing I had on here was that we got some free agents, okay? And it's not good. It's really not good. I'm gonna just list off a couple of the key ones here. Brandon Bolden, okay. Trent Brown, offensive tackle. Brian Hoyer, which, James White, running back.
Oh.
Jawan Bentley, one of our best linebackers. Jamie Collins, linebacker.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Dante Hightower, okay. J.C. Jackson, cornerback. Devin fucking McCourty, okay, free agent. Nick Folk, our kicker that's been killing it, you know, free agent. Matthew Slater, dude that makes the Pro Bowl every year as a special teamer, like, free agent. Jacoby Johnson, fullback. Jacoby Myers, wide receiver. Gunnar Oslowski, wide receiver. It's not looking good. We got a ton of free agents. A ton. And I'm just like, man, Bill, what are you going to do? How are you going to fix this? So I'm excited to see what happens, but I'm also kind of scared because we're going to be looking a lot different next year.
Don't be scared.
We're going to look a lot different.
Trust in Bill, man.
I do trust in Bill. That's what got us this far. You know, we're going to keep trusting in Bill. But then the last thing I have here for the Patriots is McDaniels put out a full-page ad where he was thanking New England for everything. So I was like, okay, that's pretty nice. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
I saw he's been taking a lot of your coaching staff with him.
Yeah, this dude. It is what it is. As long as we got Bill Belichick, like you said, we're good.
That's all that you have, though?
Yep, that's all I got there.
Okay. I'll start with the Eagles stuff here. Finally, legendary coach Dick Vermeil is going in the Football Hall of Fame here,
nice.
2022.
Awesome.
You know, legendary Eagles coach. Any other big news I have? Jason Kelsey's coming back, baby.
Oh,
he's coming back for another year.
He's back.
He's back. You know, the legend, Jason Kelsey.
That don't surprise me. That's awesome.
So that's one of the biggest news I have here as far as Eagles. That's really all that I have.
Another year,
but you know, him coming back is
helping Jaylen be more comfortable.
You know, exactly. Our O-line is going to be just as good as last year, if not better. So is, you know, another year with Jaylen in the system. He's going to have a nice O-line to, you know, be behind. That should help him out a little bit. So, you know, makes me feel a little bit better. Even if we trade for Russ, hey, at least he'll have a good O-line to work behind.
Right. Yeah, exactly, man. That's awesome. That's awesome.
But we'll go right into the Bulls stuff I have here. Bulls, #1 in the East, you know, going into the All-Star break, looking nice. A little worried here this past week. A little worried about Zach LaVine. He was having some tightness in his knee. He sat out a couple games here. He went and saw a specialist who did his like surgery a couple years ago, whenever he tore that. Everything turned out good. They drained some fluid from his knee, and he's already been approved to, you know, play in the All-Star game and, you know, come back immediately.
Awesome.
So,
I mean, the All-Star game.
Exactly. So he'll be participating there, and then they have the week off, so that'll help even more. So that's going to be nice for him. It's going to be cool to see him back, even though we've been winning some games here. And DeMar DeRozan, that leads me in here. He's the first Bull since MJ to have 35+ in 6 straight games.
Damn.
DeMar has been hooping. He's been hooping.
It's what you need,
I
man.
didn't see what he.
He's a great player.
I didn't see what he did tonight, though. So I don't know if he had 35 tonight at all. But because of that, DeMar, he recorded his 6th straight game with 35 points, and he also shot 50% shooting through those 6 games as well. And that tied Wilt Chamberlain in 1960-61 and 1963 for the longest streak in NBA history.
Awesome, man. That's crazy.
You know, 35 points, 6 games on 50% shooting. So
yeah.
That's pretty. He's been unstoppable from mid-range. And what I else have here is Alex Caruso in the next 10 days is expected to start shooting and dribbling. So he's kind of on his path back to playing here soon.
And DeRozan had 38 tonight, by the way.
7 games straight. So, so 7, and so it's pretty much the exact same thing. First Bull since Michael Jordan to have 7 straight games. So I think Mike had like 20-something, 30-something games of like 30-something crazy. So yeah, like 7 games then.
That's crazy, man.
DeMar DeRozan has been on fire.
He's balling right now.
He is hooping right now, man. He's having one of his best years. And the last thing I have here is kind of something we already mentioned earlier. Apparently, the Bulls are going to aggressively pursue Goran Dragic if he was bought out. But now he's officially been bought out, so they're officially one of those teams now.
You're expecting them to really pursue.
Yeah, just kind of add some depth there, some veteran depth. until we get healthy here. And then hopefully once we're fully healthy, make a nice little playoff run.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah.
But that's all that I have as far as bias bubble. We can go right into the crazy sports stat fact of the podcast here. Which one do I want to pick?
What do you got?
Let's talk about Nolan Ryan here.
Okay.
It's true. Since 1880, 29 MLB pitchers have thrown 2 no-hitters. 4 pitchers, Hall of Famers Cy Young, Bob Feller, and soon-to-be added Justin Verlander, have thrown 3 no-hitters. Legendary Hall of Fame Sandy Koufax threw 4, so you'd have to add 2 full Hall of Fame careers to match Nolan Ryan's unbelievable 7 no-hitters.
Jeez, man. That's incredible. And I know it's happening a little bit more common now in today's MLB because of people just swinging for the fences, but
yeah.
Even more impressive because how it was back then, so it's awesome to see stuff like that. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Yeah, so 7 no-hitters, Sandy Koufax had 4. That's nuts, man.
That's incredible.
Nolan Ryan, a legend. So it's not very often we talk about baseball here. So there's your little
give you
baseball,
baseball as a sports fact.
But that's the show this week. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to check out all the content across the channel on Waves 5 Media. Make sure to go follow us on Twitter at SquadPodSports. And also go check out all of the content that Sideline Sports has, man.
Yeah,
tons of dope stuff over there. They have articles that you can read. And tons of different shows. They have the NBA Carousel. Football just wrapped up. They usually have a football show every year. But they have a lot of news coming out. They're talking about golf now and NASCAR and stuff. So be on the lookout for all that good stuff across Sideline Sports Network. And that's it for our show this week. And we'll see everybody next week.
Peace.